Meeting is being recorded. All righty, we're going to start with grammar, I think, if my camera will work. Let's try that again. Hold on. So, Melina, since you're tuning in, we were just talking about possible snow in Ridgecrest. So maybe you and Jasper can do some sledding. I hope it does. That would be fun for you guys.
Last time it snowed was Thanksgiving a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Was it enough to play in?
Yeah, it was like a lot.
Ah. Okay, so it's not too uncommon.
Yeah, but I think the last time it did it was like before Thanksgiving was 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember though. I was alive, but I was just a little boy.
Yeah. Yeah, that it doesn't snow very often. Yeah, for sure. I remember, yeah, like I said in Bakersfield, 1999. So I guess that was 24 years ago. So it's been a while. It used to snow like every 10 years in Bakersfield, but and for sure in Bakersfield, probably Ridgecrest too, when it snows, the whole town shuts down. Like nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows how to drive in it. Nobody knows like what to do.
So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there wasn't anybody or that many people on the streets.
Yeah. Yep. That's how it was in Bakersfield. They shut down all the stores and of course the schools. Nobody was doing anything. So it's pretty funny. All righty. Well, you'll have to keep me posted. Maybe you can text me or message me somehow and let me know if it's snowing there. That would be cool. Take some pictures. Okay, we are on page 103 for grammar. Today we're talking about another opener, and well, let's just start here where it says fix it. Starting this week, oh yeah, there is going to be a little bit of a change in your grammar instructions at the top. This fix it section is no longer indicates how many indents, commas, capitals, and end marks are needed in each passage. Make needed fixes based on grammar and punctuation rules. This is what you must do with your own writing too, since no one is telling you how many indents, commas, capitals, and end marks you need in the paragraphs that you write. So basically they're weaning you off of that. So you have to now pay attention to indenting. Remember the rules for new paragraphs are like if the time changes or if there's a change in setting or a change in character or situation or something like that. So you'll have to pay attention to those. And then of course, capitals and end marks, you guys are already pretty good at that. So you don't really need to worry about that part. The grammar, let's see, let's just take a peek at it. Okay, so if you take a peek at page 105, they're telling you there's these things to fix. They're not telling you how many. And I think, oh, it does stay like that till the end. Okay, so that's your clue. You'll be fine with that. Okay, so back to 103, number 4, ing opener. I think we've talked about this. It says in week 5 that we learned about the ing opener. It's a sentence that begins with a participle phrase. However, not every sentence that begins with a word that ends with the letters ing is a number 4 ing opener. You must consider what the words are doing in the sentence. So ing, we're learning, can function as different things. And so these are imposters that you have to watch for. So the first one actually is an ing opener, number 4. Guessing the title, Dorinda enjoyed the game. When a participle phrase ing opener begins a sentence, a comma separates the ing opener from the main clause. And the thing after the comma must be the thing doing the inging. And I remember talking to you about that a while back. So obviously Dorinda is doing the guessing. So that's what it means. The subject after the comma has to be the thing doing the inging. Okay, when an ing word functions as an adjective, it is called a participle. Guessing the title is a participle phrase because it functions as an adjective and describes the subject of the main clause, Dorinda. Here, guessing the way they have it here, they switched it up a little. This is more of a subject opener, not an ing, even though the word ends in ing. So guessing the title entertained Dorinda. And so guessing is the subject because what entertained Dorinda? Guessing the title. So guessing becomes the subject there. When an ing word functions as a noun, it is called a gerund. Mark it as a number one subject opener. And then here's another example of a prepositional phrase or prepositional opener. It still has the ing. It's still the same word, or it's a different word, but it still has the ing. During the game, Dorinda laughed. So during is the preposition, not an article or participle. If a sentence begins with a preposition concerning, according to, regarding, or during, mark it as a number two prepositional opener. All right, so basically those are the three examples, and two of them are imposters to the ing opener. This is the only actual one here that shows you how it should be. So yeah, you'll just have to really think through the sentence, ask yourself who's doing the inging, and if you can answer those questions, it's probably not ing opener. So you can refer back to this page as you're doing your homework to help you with that. Literary titles down here. This is just how you would even title your papers. So you want to capitalize the first word and the last word of the titles and subtitles, capitalize all other words except articles, coordinating conjunctions, and prepositions. The way I like to think of it is the first word is always capital, the last word is always capital, and then your keywords in the middle are capital. So little words that are filler words basically don't need to be capitalized. And here's a couple of examples. Dorinda read Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel, I think is how you say his name. Italicized titles of full-length works, book, magazine, movie, newspaper, website. If handwriting, underline using, because you cannot italicize. Okay, so if you're handwriting it, you underline it, but if you use it in a typing format, then you italicize it. And I was just noticing R is capitalized here, so it doesn't really fit my little trick with only keywords. So it would have to be except articles, coordinating conjunctions, and prepositions. So that actually is kind of like a keyword because they are friends. I don't know. It's hard to know how to capitalize titles. But we'll practice those more as we go through the book. She cited the nursery rhyme, Five Little Speckled Frogs. That one's pretty easy because they're all main words in the title or keywords. So place titles found in a larger source in quotation marks. Article, chapter, story, short story, poem, speech, web page. Place titles found within a larger source in quotation marks. I guess they're calling these larger sources, articles, chapter, short story, poem, speech, web page. Place commas and periods inside closing quotation marks. So I don't know why they're calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, within. I'm sorry. It's within a larger source. That's what it is. Like, so
because
like
a chapter is inside of a whole book.
Yeah. I think that's what it means. Yeah. Because this is like full length works. These are books, magazines, movie, newspaper. So these are full length, but these are within a larger source. So yeah, you're right. Like an article, part of a chapter or whatever, then you use quotation marks. I had to read that myself a couple of times. it didn't make sense at first, but. Okay, any questions about this page?
I don't think so.
You're good, okay. This one, we're talking about the word that. Although the word that usually begins a dependent that clause, it does not when the word that is a demonstrative pronoun or adjective. You already know this. It's just putting it into words. This sounds confusing, but you already know about this. A pronoun takes place of a noun. So like, here's your example. That was the best book. I will read more about that. So it refers to whatever the sentence before was. Like other pronouns, demonstrative pronouns perform a noun function. In the first example, that is the subject of the main clause. In the second example, that is the object of the preposition about. So the object is about what? About that. That's how you would identify that. As an adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. When a demonstrative pronoun comes before a noun, it functions as an adjective. Another example here, that book was the best book. So which book? That book. That is how you can identify it as an adjective. I will read more about that frog. So whenever you ask which one, that tells you it's an adjective. Confirm that the word that functions as an adjective by replacing that with the book. Okay, so you can replace it with the book was the best book. I will read more about the frog. So that's how you can tell it functions as an adjective. That's kind of a cool trick. Okay, and then there's the that clause, which is a dependent clause. A dependent clause contains a subject and a verb, but does not express a complete thought. A that clause is a dependent clause that begins with the word that. We've already been labeling these in your grammar. Dorinda did not recognize the sentence that he read. Dorinda is a guy? I thought it was a girl.
Oh, it's saying Dorinda didn't recognize the sentence the frog read.
Ah, yeah.
That
That's
confused
right.
me a little bit too.
Because I haven't really been reading, every page, so I'm missing chunks of the story, but okay, that it does make more sense. Referring to maybe a sentence before, but Dorinda's a girl though, right? We do know that.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. To confirm that the word that begins with a that clause, look for a subject, which is he, and a verb, read. So that clause always has a subject and verb. When the word that begins a that clause, you can often remove it from the sentence. Dorinda did not recognize the sentence he read. Okay, so that's another trick you can do. Take it out and it still makes sense. If the that clause is an adjective clause, you can replace the word that with which. Dorinda did not recognize the sentence which he read. Okay. They're just showing you the different that clauses, but it's still a clause. I guess they just want you to know that. I wouldn't worry about that part. Just know it has a subject and verb with it. Obviously here, there's no verb. We've got the subject frog, and then in this one, no verb. But the that clause has both subject and verb. Okay. And then you got these notes here in the column in the margin that can help you with finding those in your homework pages. What is it and why? Read each sentence and determine if the word that begins a dependent that clause or if it is a demonstrative pronoun or adjective. So we'll look at these together real quick here. So the first one, the library housed stacks of books that generations had enjoyed. So we're looking to see if that sentence has a that clause or if it's a demonstrative pronoun or adjective. What do you think, Jasper? I think your clue is going to be if it has a subject and verb near it or after it.
Is it demonstrative?
I think that it actually is a that clause because you've got generations had enjoyed. So you have the subject and the verb. So really, let's just mark it so we can see it. Let me get my there. So if you put the parentheses around the that clause, you've got your verb that had enjoyed and then your subject. So that shows that it's actually a clause. Does that make sense, Jasper?
Yes.
Kinda. Yes. Okay. I'm with you. You already know grammar is difficult for me too. So I'm teaching it is even more difficult, but I think let's go on because I think it'll make more sense when we see the next one. So Dorinda had spent hours in that place. So that one does not, after that, you don't see a subject. You might see a subject place, but no verb, right? So we know it's not a clause. But if you ask yourself, which place, remember that's one of the questions you can ask for an adjective. Which place is that place? So that becomes the adjective. Let's just mark it adjective here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the demonstrative pronoun or an adjective would go if it has a pronoun or adjective after it.
Yeah, or look up here real quick. See this adjective questions. When yeah, after the word that, if you can ask yourself, if you can answer that question, which one, what kind, how many, or whose, that tells us it's an adjective. And then here, the pronoun that takes the place of a noun, demonstrative. Am I saying that? You're saying demonstrative. I wonder if I'm saying that word wrong. It's probably like tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her real quick because now I'm curious. I've been saying demonstrative. Let's see.
Demonstrative.
Oh, okay. So, but I think you're right as well. Siri says demonstrative. So anyway.
I was just being demonstrate.
Yeah, I see that word. Yeah. Demonstrate. Yep. Okay. Tomato, tomato. We know what we're talking about. Yeah. Okay. So that can be help you probably right there. And then here, even this one, this is the clause. It has a that and then a subject and verb. So that's how we know it's a clause. Otherwise, it's going to function as a pronoun or an adjective. So the next one, she knew that she could always find a thrilling book. Now in this one, after the word that, what do you think, Jasper?
Would it be a that clause because
yes,
there's a subject after?
Yes.
Look at me go.
Look at you go. So what is the verb in here?
Find.
Find, good. And then the subject,
She.
good, yes. So you're right. All right, go ahead and read the last one and see if you can figure that one out.
Pointing to a book, Frederick said, "Can you reach that for me?" Um, is that demonstrative?
Yes, it is. Do you think it's a pronoun or an adjective?
Mm.
So remember, if it's an adjective, you can ask which one, what kind, or how many. But if it's a pronoun, it's referring back to another noun, remember?
Oh, so a pronoun?
Yeah, because it's referring back to book. Good, Jasper, you got it. Just going to put PR on top of that for pronoun. So yeah, it's just going to be a matter of stopping and thinking, okay, can I answer which one or how many? No. Okay, does it refer back to something else? Or does it have a subject and verb with it? So those are kind of the little things you just have to stop and think about when you come across the word that now. So hopefully this page will help you when you do your homework. All right, Jasper, any questions?
I don't think so.
Okay. You were getting it though, so that's good. Okay, that was the last page of grammar this week. Does it take you a long time to do your grammar? Like, can you guess how long it takes you to finish your 3-4 pages?
Maybe like an hour and a half in total.
And that's just for grammar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then for your writing, when you're, using your keyword outline and stuff, and you go to do your writing, how long do you think that takes you?
I think it kind of depends.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the creative writing one, it has ups and downs for it. Because on the one hand, I make the story, so it's easier for that. But then on the
Yeah.
other, like I have to keep doing things that kind of make sense for the way that the story is going.
Yeah.
But I think that part's the hardest part for it.
Okay.
Maybe
Would you
like,
say it takes you more than an hour?
I think so.
Okay.
Just like a little bit more.
So maybe 3 to 3.5 hours a week for homework, roughly. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure I guess that's about right for a week's worth of homework. It's so hard to tell on my end how much it is for you guys. So, because I don't want to add stress to your life, but I do want to keep going in the book because I want to try to get as far as we can by the end of the year. So it's hard to know, but and I did get your text and I really appreciate that. It helps me to know where you're at with it, and it's okay. If you don't communicate with me and then I don't see anything for a while, then I wonder if you forgot or whatever. So it helps me to know what's going on. So thank you for that. That's good.
Yesterday was just kind of crowded.
Yeah, I get that. That's so, where are you at now with last week's assignment? Have you started writing it yet?
Yeah, I have 2 of the paragraphs done.
Okay. So we'll just kind of, I might break up this next one then. I saw that Melina got hers in, and I made several notes on hers. Hers is really good. So I forgot to ask her if it's okay to read it to you. She probably won't mind, but anyway, it was clever, and she She did a good job. So, and I noticed my internet is kind of pausing every once in a while. Is it pausing and then it catches up? Is that what's happening?
Like a tiny bit. I haven't noticed it though. There was
Okay, good.
just one time that I noticed.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started here. Let's see. Have you, because you're on the second paragraph. Let's go ahead and look at the next one, but I probably will break it up into 2 weeks for the next one. But so go ahead and get out from your binder. You might already have it out. Pages 89 to 97. That's the next week. 89 to 97. Show you what it looks like here. This is 89, so we're on to week 9 now. This is just the overview page. You might have got it up.
Was that not the one that we were doing?
This one, so you were working on, pretty sure you did, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Is that what you wrote about, was the monkey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because last week we did the trash bag and the pirates.
I think because I'm looking at the homework assignment, I have here, finish writing your story using pictures on page 81 or 83 of your binder. So that would have been 81, would have been either the trash bag one. So, oh, I think you accidentally went on then. Maybe that's what happened. Because the 81 is the trash bag one, and then 83 is the pirate one. We didn't really talk about that one, but you could have written about that one. Here, let me share my screen.
I started with the trash bag, but I thought it was you choose which one.
Okay, so this is the homework due yesterday. Finish writing your story using the pictures on pages 81 or 83. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay. So you went on to the ape one?
Yeah.
Ah, shoot. Uh-oh. And then I put check my comments on last week's assignment. Include a sentence. Okay. Did you happen to look at that? Last week's assignment? I forget. Let me see what I have last week here. Oh, okay. So basically I gave you 2 weeks to finish that one. And I think you did turn it in. Oh no, that's Melina. Let me open this one. Yeah, because I was thinking, okay, so I'm confusing myself now because you did finish the one about the trash bag.
Yes.
Did you go back and fix things that I suggested over here? Or no?
I think I forgot to. Sorry.
Okay. Shoot, I'm sorry, Jasper. You accidentally went on and that was the homework assignment, was to fix this. So let's just move on. Don't worry about fixing this one since you accidentally moved on. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. I'm all confused now too. Okay, let's see. Can you submit what you have so far so I can see what you're working on? Maybe that would help.
It just submitted.
Okay. Okay, cool. Got it. Okay, yeah, so you accidentally moved on. But that's okay. Now you can take a deep breath and know that you're actually ahead. So it's actually a good thing. So basically, as far as your binder goes, let's just go ahead and put away the week 8 behind finished compositions. I'm not going to do that. You chose the trash bag one last time, so you don't have to worry about the pirate one. And then you can put away the checklist and everything in finished compositions in your binder. And then we'll talk about week 9 here.
All right.
Okay, this is going to be good. Okay, but I'm going to pause on this for a second, just so we can look at, I'm going to go ahead and just teach what I had planned teaching, even though you already started it. So this is page 89 from your binder. We don't really need that, but you can get it out. And actually the first page we're going to look at is page 95, which is this one. It's kind of a cream colored one.
All right, got it.
Okay, so this is something new on your checklist now. You already know the pattern here. So basically we're just picking different things to write about, but this is the meat of the whole class is your dress up words and then your band words. And now we're going to start adding openers. So you're going to have more and more to do as you write your paragraphs. This is the prepositional opener. It's number 2. It's kind of cool because we've already talked about it in our grammar part of the class. And now you're going to start incorporating it in your writing. So the prepositional opener is a prepositional phrase placed at the beginning of a sentence. And here's a couple of examples. And notice the 2 is in brackets. And so now that's how you're going to label it. You know how you underline your dress ups and you highlight your topic clincher. Now you're going to start adding these numbers to represent the opener. So I am going to break up this assignment for you, though, so you have plenty of time to do this. Okay, so the first example, despite a lengthy childhood sickness, Teddy Roosevelt enjoyed a life of activity and adventure. So despite is actually a preposition, and the phrase, remember when we mark it in our grammar book, it ends on a noun. So that's the whole phrase. In 1901, Teddy Roosevelt became the youngest president in the nation's history. So it's pointing out a couple of things here. A prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and contains at least 2 words. A prepositional phrase ends with a noun. A prepositional phrase never contains a verb. There might be other words between the preposition and the noun, but there's never a verb in a prepositional phrase. To indicate that a sentence begins with a prepositional opener, label it with a 2. This is if you're handwriting it, you would put it in the left margin. Or this is how I want you to do it on Google Docs, is with brackets around the 2, right before the sentence. Okay, if the prepositional, this is an important rule here about commas. If the prepositional phrase has 5 words or more, follow it with a comma. A comma is optional, but usually not recommended with shorter phrases. And then you've got your handy dandy preposition list. So these are the words you would begin your sentence with. So this will help you a lot. If it is let me tell you about this really quick. Because sometimes you'll have a short prepositional opener, like if you use the word for, and you might say, for example, is also a prepositional phrase. If it's just those two words, that's when you would use a comma. And it's also a transition to say something like, for example, or if you use in addition, you can use in. And then if you use on the other hand, something like that, that's when you would use a comma, because it's more of a transition type prepositional phrase. But basically, I think you naturally do this. So now we're just labeling it. So I recommend you just get out of your head what you want to say first in your paragraph, and then go back and look for a place where you can include a prepositional phrase or prepositional opener. Does that make sense to you, Jasper?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Let's see. What was I going to tell you after that? Page 21. Oh, yeah. I think this is at the front of your binder. Page 21, remember that dress up page, the stylistic techniques page? It's yellow. It's from way back, but I think either we've been keeping it at the front or possibly behind stylistic techniques tab. It looks like this. Remember this one?
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Okay, cool. We're just going to add the opener here. It's actually number 2. We're starting with number 2 on purpose. Then you'll find out when we get to number 1. But I think mostly it's because it's easier. So we're just going to write prepositional opener. And you're going to put it next to number 2, prepositional. So you have all 6 dress ups that you're working on now. And then we're going to add the prepositional opener. I don't know if we're going to make it to decorations, maybe a couple of them eventually before the end of the year, because we're going to end in May. And I can't believe we're more than halfway through February. So anyway.
That is weird.
Feels like we just had Christmas, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. All right, so this one can go back wherever you keep it. That's all I wanted you to do was add that on there. Okay, and now let's just take a peek at the checklist for this one, ape and turkey. It's week 9. So the checklist is page 97 for this one, ape and turkey. So again, there's 2 different sets of pictures to look at. We're going to talk about the ape one today, and you've already started that one, but Melina, if you prefer doing the turkey one, you can. It's either or. So the checklist above is same. I did notice Melina forgot to add a title, so don't forget that for both of you. When you get finished with your story, make sure you give it a title. And I do want these submitted from now on, so you'll actually physically check them and then submit them with your assignment. Then down here, you've got all 6. There's not going to be any more dress ups. The sentence openers will extend, but you have 6 of these. The quality adjective I've noticed is a little tricky. So the best way to find something for your noun, you got to look for your nouns. and then think of a word that you could use to describe the noun, basically modify it. And you can use Google for that. If your parents are fine with you using Google for stuff, you can say, what is a good adjective for ape? And they probably would give you some ideas on what you could do to describe the ape. So you can describe the size, the personality, the like color. You can describe the physical attributes of an ape or psychological, emotional. So you would like a disgruntled ape or a
Rambunctious,
perfect, or emotionally unstable ape, something like that. So think of that when you use your adjective there. And
that kind
then
of sounds like the ape in my story.
yes, I kind of skimmed through it, but I'm going to read that with you in a little bit. I'm excited about that. So then you have your openers here now. So you're going to use one prepositional opener to a sentence, meaning the very beginning of the sentence in each of your paragraphs. Just find one to use there, and then mark it with that bracket with the 2. And then, of course, your band words are the same. I think we went over nice and big. We've already done those, so you're good there. And that's basically it for the checklist. So this is the part that does take the longest. Probably getting your thoughts down is one thing, but now making sure you have all these elements to it takes time. So, okay. So now that we checked that, let's go ahead and look at and talk about page 91, which is the ape pictures here. I noticed you said monkey, and technically he's an ape because he doesn't have a tail. We're calling him he. I mean, it could be a she, but doesn't have a tail. So ape, or I think orangutans also don't have a tail. And I think chimpanzees don't either, huh?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either. But I do know monkeys do. So this would be, unless he's got it tucked underneath him. If you want to continue with monkey, I'm okay with that. Maybe the tail is hidden.
I can change it.
Okay. All right. So I know you got started on this, but for Melina's sake, I'm going to kind of walk through this together with you so she can start thinking of how she's going to write hers. So it's a little different than the trash bag or the pirate one, because you obviously have one missing here. So you've got the beginning and end pictures. So your central fact is what is literally happening in the picture. And that is where you also want to include kind of a backstory about what's happening. So let's just, for a second here, let's just turn this page over. Just go to the back of page 91, and we're going to jot down some ideas here, and we'll help Melina come up with some stuff. So look, thinking about what you saw with the pictures, he's sitting in a tree in the first one, and he's looking down at traffic. And then at the last picture, you see this car that's totally beat up, right? So what do you think? Let's just brainstorm. What do you think could have happened, or what? Give me some thoughts on the scene and what why is that ape in the tree looking down on traffic? What do you think, Jasper?
He escaped from a zoo.
Okay.
And so that big truck driving away is the truck that he jumped out of.
Oh, I like that. Okay, jumped out of truck. I'm just jotting down some thoughts and ideas here so we can help, like I said, help Melina. All right, so he escaped the zoo. Why do you think he would have escaped the zoo?
They gave him one less banana than he requested.
Angry about lack of banana. Okay. So he's like, I'm fed up with you people. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. He jumped out of the, so he escaped. So he snuck in the truck, you're thinking. And then he got out. What was the truck doing there?
Oh, that's a good point. He wouldn't have to jump out of the truck if he was already at the zoo. He thought it was transporting bananas.
Okay. So maybe the truck was at the zoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he went into it because he was trying to get the bananas and then it started driving.
I'm going to put a little semicolon here and we'll put snuck in truck. Actually, that would be before he escaped, but you get the idea. We're just taking notes. So, okay. So he snuck in the truck. Then he jumped out of the truck. We're kind of out of order, but that's all right. We're just getting our thoughts down. Okay. So now he's he got out of the truck and now he's up on the tree. What is he thinking next when he's looking down at the traffic?
He wishes he had a banana.
Wish had banana. So he's
Like,
contemplating life, kind of.
yeah, it's like bananas. Bananas are pure happiness. What happens if you have an infinite amount of bananas?
So he's dreaming.
Yeah.
All right. And then what do you think? Because we don't know what happens in the middle. We just know something bad happened to that car at the end.
Um,
Does his mental state change, you think?
Maybe. I just thought of he thought he saw another monkey driving the car.
The car, not the truck, but the car.
Yeah.
Okay. Thought, saw, monkey driving. Okay.
So then he jumped out of the tree to go inside of the car.
So,
But
okay.
it was a zookeeper who was looking for him.
Okay. Does he jump on the car? Is that what you mean? Or is he chasing the car?
Chasing.
Okay. Chasing car.
I feel like if I was in a car being chased by a monkey, that'd be much scarier than if it just landed on the roof.
Yeah, you see it in your rear view mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But the driver he thought he saw a monkey driving, but it was actually the zookeeper driving.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, zookeeper driving. So for Melina's sake here, this is just, I'm modeling for you how to get your thoughts down. It's kind of scrambled, but as you're thinking of the scenario, yours might be different than this, Melina. You can just, you don't have to write all this down just like what I have here, but you can use your own creativity and come up with your own ideas. That's just what we're working on. Okay, so it's actually the zookeeper driving and he's chasing the car. Does he catch up to the car or what do you think?
He catches up to it and then he goes in the passenger side and tells him to drive back to the jungle.
To the jungle, not the zoo, the jungle.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
How does
wants to have wild bananas.
So is he maybe threatening the zookeeper, like how is he going to get him to go to the jungle? Does he get violent, or is he just like mind games? Or let's see, how
I
can
think
we
mind games.
okay.
You know, like the Jedi mind trick.
There you go.
Like he has a magical monkey stare. Ape, which is so he just stares deeply.
Man, I wish we could have an M word for stare, then that would be even funnier. Magical monkey. I can't think of one. I'll just put stare for now. Magical monkey stare.
Maybe maelstrom, is that the word?
Maelstrom?
Yeah, I think it's like, I'm not really sure. It's a move in Pokemon. That's the only place that I know of the word.
Oh, maelstrom, a powerful whirlpool in the sea or river.
Oh, that's
But it could be mental, a situation or state of confused movement or violent turmoil.
yeah, you could like do some sort of weird dance.
Or stare. I'm looking up an M word for stare. Do you know you could do that too? I do that all the time on my phone.
Yeah.
I just put
Sometimes.
M word. Yeah. Rubberneck. That's funny, but it's not M. They don't have any M words here. Darn. Okay. Oh, you could do like a mind meld or something like that, where there's like a
Yeah.
magical monkey mind meld. that's when their minds connect, right?
Like in Avatar,
Yeah.
they have the little jellyfish things.
Mind meld. Oh, it's funny. They're showing Star Trek with Spock. You know how he puts his hands on it's a mind meld. A state of deep compatibility in opinion or plans between two people. Ooh, that might. Okay, let's just put that just in case. Let's put it in parentheses here. So we are having way too much fun. I just looked at the time, darn it. All right. So let me just, I like where this is going, and I didn't even get to read yours yet. I just kind of skimmed it, but you were onto something, I think. And if you want to change it up or whatever after our talk, feel free to do that. But so basically, time went way too fast. So you're just going to ask yourself questions like, why is he on a highway? Why is he on a highway? What is he thinking and feeling? Is he making any sounds? What is he planning? Where is this location? And then talking about the driver. So just kind of like what you and I talked about, we're asking those big 6 questions, like what is happening? What did he do? What is he thinking? And all of that. So, and then making your outline here, the central fact shows what's in the picture. Obviously this one, you're going to make up the central fact. So, and then have supporting details under that. You only need 4, but if you want to do 5, you can. So you can keep that as an option. And then if you want to tell what's happening, like you were talking about before this scene, he was in the zoo and he escaped and he was mad and all that because he didn't get his extra banana. So, and then you can also tell beyond this scene, think of it as a movie. And then you use your checklist when you go to write the paragraphs. I'll give you comments on yours, Jasper, because I do want to kind of look at yours a little closer, and then I'll comment on it. So that was fun. I wish we had more time. because I really want to know how this thing ends. So on that note, though, how does the car get damaged? I want to know what your thoughts are on that one.
The ape can't comprehend what a road is, so he just drives straight. Oh, wait, no, it's the zookeeper driving.
Yeah, but he could take over. He could take over
Oh,
driving.
Yeah.
And then he loses control.
Yeah.
Does he run into something or another car? Or hopefully nobody gets hurt, but it could be like maybe all of his monkey or ape friends,
Oh, yeah.
they break
He
out.
summoned them, and then they destroyed the vehicle because they don't like mankind.
Now it's getting violent. There we go. All right. Good job, Jasper. It's always fun talking about these things with you. So have fun with it. And since you got a good start on it, I'm gonna go ahead and have you just finish it. And then I'll check in with Melina to see where she's at. If she can, it seems like it's a pretty easy one to write. Obviously, the hardest part will be the checklist, adding all that stuff in there. So I'm going to assign the whole thing, and then you guys just communicate with me if you are late with turning it in or need extra time or whatever. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Jasper. Awesome. That was fun. I hope you have a great day, and I hope for some snow, and send me pictures if you got snow.
All right.
All right. I'll see you next time.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.